I'm Malvya Chintakindi. I'm a 6th-year PhD candidate in the Department of Anthropology. I'm in the process of writing and wrapping up my dissertation. I look at labor, gender and the intersections of caste and class in South Asia, but also particularly India, where my field site is. So I have received around 3 rounds of funding from CSWS. In my very first year, I received a summer grant which allowed me to conduct foundational research. When I mean foundational research, especially within ethnography, I looked at how different sets of communities in the north and south of India imagine and understand what labor looks like in the informal markets they're set in. When we speak about informal labor, 80% of the Indian population works in the informal labor sector, which is unaccounted for. When you look about like global earnings or just unpaid leave, some of these women are working in extremely precarious conditions, such as either cooks, cleaners, gardeners, or even manual labor. And some of these professions are also very caste specific in nature, which comes to like the larger research question I have. When we look at how caste, gender and socioeconomic classes intersect, it makes these women multiply vulnerable. When I mean these women, I'm speaking about the lower or backward caste communities. According to the Constitution of India, they're understood as lower caste or backward caste communities, but it's just the hierarchy that the British colonialism has left us with. So I looked at a couple of field sites in the north and the south of India during my first foundational research time, which was the summer of 2021. And then a couple of years later, I received, again, with the generosity of the CSWS, a summer research grant again, which allowed me to actually hone down what my field site would be, which area I would like to sort of conduct most of my research, who my participants would be, how do I recruit them, how do I engage in ethnographic research, because this is supposed to be a long-term commitment and engagement with the communities I needed to be with and embed myself in. So these couple of summer grants have allowed me to really make those bonds and relationships count for me and establish that trust and speak with the males in the family, certain government officers and non-government officials to understand how labor really plays a role in making or breaking some of these generational aspirations of these families. The current gift I've been bestowed with is the Jane Grant Dissertation Fellowship, that is allowing me to actually give words to all these stories and narratives, because this is rich data. This has been collected over 5 years since the pandemic. In fact, I started my PhD in 2020, fall of 2020, and having that amount of rich data and not having enough time to either analyze or write or do both of them together, the analysis and writing, would have been really, really problematic, also traumatic, because I'm reflecting, interpreting, also going back to my communities and talking with them, also sometimes correcting, recorrecting, and I also share my findings with a lot of the women I'm working with or whose stories I'm highlighting in my research. So it's really important that I give dedicated time to write without having to do anything else, which is very pivotal for a PhD candidate. So this whole year, since the fall of 2025, and now this is of course spring 2026, all I've been doing is writing up my dissertation chapters. I've completed around 2 of them. The 3rd chapter is almost finishing up, and this allows me to edit, write, think, engage with the scholarship, also engage with the broader CSWS community more. I'm able to access their office, I'm able to access scholars, affiliated professors. When I'm introducing myself to, let us say, any CSWS affiliated professor, I'm able to say, hey, I'm a Jane Grant Dissertation Fellow for this year, I have XYZ questions, can I, sort of understand what you think about the perspectives I'm writing about, or how do I incorporate larger global South theories into my writing so it becomes more valid, more important. So like the Jane Grant Dissertation Fellowship is not just exclusively writing time for me. It means time to think, reflect, but also time to network, make connections and understand how do I conduct gender analysis over such a vibrant and rich topic that the more you research, the more less understood it feels.